Hi guys, welcome back to GFFA Games and the Old Republic. Last episode we landed on this fairly inhospitable planet, Quesh, or Quesh, not quite sure. Quesh sounds a little better, doesn't it? What we decided to do controversially was to complete all of the planetary quests before we start the class quests. And the reason for that was because we wanted to keep track of the story a little better. Now, the planetary story is very much the same as every single other planet. The Empire's here, and we're trying to kill them. So we're going to do that now. We're heading up this way, which, as you can see on the map, takes us to drilling for imps, which I think was a can't remember what you call them, like an exploratory quest, I think is the name. So drilling for imps, we need to recover the mining drill parts. Gallia, a Republic miner, has an ambitious plan to drill a tunnel beneath the Imperial base for a surprise attack. Unfortunately, the drill has broken down, and the Imperials themselves are the only ones with replacement parts. Gallia asks you to take mining drill parts from a nearby Imperial mine, enter the mine, and search for the parts. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to kill some Imperials. Let's do it. Okay. I'm not quite sure if some of these... if you look at number 4 down here, I think that logo's changed. Have some of the others, or am I just sat closer to the screen and seeing more detail? It's possible. Rather interesting though, kind of, if you're interested in that sort of thing. There we go. Oh. Didn't give us an option there. I was just going to avoid all these guys, but nope. Apparently we're going to kill you. So what's happened recently in the world of Star Wars? Well, let me tell you, for me, not a lot. I still haven't seen Ahsoka, and I don't know, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. I know it's a bit unusual to feel that way, it's a bit sad, isn't it? But no, I haven't seen the second series of Visions. I haven't watched The Bad Batch other than the first 2 or 3 episodes. That just didn't interest me. I think I'm becoming a casual. Just a casual fan. A dirty casual fan. Still, at least I'm saving a lot of money on books and comics and all that nonsense. I say that, but then, you know, you get more varied interests, don't you? You start spending on other things. It's just a vicious circle. I think that's what we need over there. Vicious circle or vicious cycle? Are they the same thing? I don't know the answer to that question. I did hear yesterday that Dave Filoni has been promoted to Chief Creative Officer, something like that. To be honest, I thought he already was, but apparently he's not, but now he is. Oh. 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 Are you sure? So what's in the rest of this mine, then? What's down this way? Anything? Just some guys? I've seen some people celebrating the fact that he's now, I assume, going to have a bit more say in the direction that the franchise goes, story-wise. Personally, does nothing for me. I enjoyed Rebels, don't get me wrong, but the rest of what he's done... he was involved with The Mandalorian. That was a co-thing, wasn't it, with... what's his name? Favreau. So, yeah, he's got that. I don't know. I'll obviously give him a chance. I mean, he might improve things, maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm just not holding my breath for it because, well, it just doesn't do anything for me at the moment. I'm really enjoying kind of the more vintage stuff at the minute. I've been collecting Bantha tracks. I've got a bit of difficulty getting hold of the last 2 issues, though. I think 34 and 35. They seem to be extremely rare. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. You know, you can only buy them if they become available. I know there's scans of them on the internet. That's absolutely fine, but I'd like to get the original ones. Once I've collected all the Bantha tracks, there's what was after Bantha tracks? Oh, the Lucasfilm Fan Club magazine. I've got a few of those, and of course that turned into Insider, which also turned into... No, it didn't turn into it. Insider's continued. But you have Galaxy magazine, which turned into Galaxy Collector, which I'd like to get. Was Gallia in here? She wasn't. Okay. And then after that, there she is. There's also the UK Star Wars magazine. I managed to pick up the first 20 or so issues of that off eBay, really cheap. But I'd like to get some more of those.
Here, I have the parts you need.
Dam urkelebed Quen etezul mul redazajunu. De heret kusraga taf de lover en zuvers.
I might as well take one of these that's got a little green arrow on, right? Yeah, there's something very nostalgic to sit and... We've got a cantina over there. Anyway, let's go down and do the Venom safeguards. Let's head down that way. Yeah, so I'm very nostalgic about looking at magazines from the... You know, like the 70s and the 80s, even though I wasn't born yet. I think because you've kind of grown up with that sort of era influence in everything that you're interested in, it does create some serious nostalgia. So are we heading up that way? Maybe not. Maybe it's another road. I'll look around here. Yeah, but obviously the stuff from the 90s, you know, I've got I think it's an Insider with like Shadows of the Empire on the front of it, and that very much brings back memories. Very much my era. I have to kill these guys, I'm afraid. But I think it's quite a strange situation to be in, because I've been quite critical of Disney and their approach to Star Wars by relying too much on nostalgia. You know, like bringing back Grand Admiral Thrawn and... What's it they say in The Sopranos? The lowest form of conversation is remember when. And it feels like that's basically all a Disney Star Wars production is. It's basically here's some rubbish, and but remember when it was good? Well, here's a character that you remember, or a line that you'll remember from when Star Wars was good. Do you remember that? You know, I'm very critical of them for doing that instead of saying, okay, here's something new. But then when they give us something new, I'm just not interested in it because it doesn't remind me of the things that I actually loved about Star Wars. So they can't win, and I do openly admit to the fact that no matter what they do, it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be George Lucas's Star Wars. Let's have a look to see what we're actually doing here before we enter in. Venom safeguards. Go to the Republic Venom mine. The Empire is attacking the Republic world of Quesh and has sent forces to the Republic Chem Basin Venom mine. Chem Basin Venom mine. Get to the mine to defend it from the Imperial attack. So what's this bonus? Determined to take the Republic Chem Basin Venom mine, the Empire has dispatched several squads of soldiers. Save the mine by defeating the Empire's forces. That's pretty much what the main mission was, right, T7? Just reworded it. Anyway, let's go. Oh. Don't mind if I just kill you guys, do you? Nah, they said it's fine. I think to this day, the two greatest things that Disney have done with the franchise are Rogue One and the first two seasons of The Mandalorian, and I think they got the balance just right between new and nostalgia-filled. I think the way that The Mandalorian built up to the Luke Skywalker reveal was perfect, because there was no way that anybody was expecting that. Well, maybe some people were, but I wasn't. I was thinking, who's this? Who's this Jedi? And then you saw the glove and you thought, no. No. But they did it perfectly, except for the fact that the music wasn't quite right, but people have fixed that on YouTube, of course, as they always do. Added in the Force theme, which I think worked much better. And then you had... what's around this way, then? Billy Bob Thornton. You had Rogue One, which again did a similar thing. It built up to Princess Leia, obviously, but the standout was Darth Vader. And although actually he did appear earlier in the film as well, but that last scene was just, well, rather phenomenal, wasn't it? But the way the Rogue One just dropped us straight into the original trilogy time frame with the Star Destroyers and the Stormtroopers, everything just looked perfect, and they captured that as well in Andor. That really great 1970s aesthetic. It just works. What the heck? Who's shooting at us? Oh, hello. So then, you know, you'd be forgiven for asking, well, what do you actually want from Star Wars then? If they can't just rely on fan service and nostalgia, but you're not actually interested in anything that they do that's new, what can they do? And, well, it's a very good question, and I don't really have an answer. There's only so much that you can do, like The Mandalorian, that basically builds its entire premise on teasing bigger things, because eventually you're going to have to deliver those bigger things. And to be honest, they peaked with the end of season 2, because where do you go from there? How do you top that? And I think maybe the scenes that we saw in Boba Fett weren't what they should have done. I think they went a bit too too much with it. Now, I'm not like the other people that say that Luke Skywalker looked awful in Boba Fett and sounded wrong. I was extremely impressed with what they did in Boba Fett with Luke Skywalker. Very impressed. But the characterization wasn't right. The whole giving Grogu a choice and then just sending him off alone in a X-Wing was just something that Luke Skywalker wouldn't do. It was very weird. Obviously, it was just something that had to happen for the marketing team to be able to continue marketing Grogu toys. It was basically just undoing the end of season 2, wasn't it? But never mind. Never mind. I know I've moaned about this before, but sometimes it's just nice to have a little moan. In non-Star Wars related news, last night I finished Spider-Man 2, the PS5 game. I'm one trophy away from getting platinum, and it was the trophy where you need to do 25 stealth takedowns from your web line or something like that, and I was about 20% through, so 20% of 25. I'm not sure. That's just over 5, right? 6, is it? Something like that. 6 or 7. I'm not sure. I'm a fucking idiot. It's 5. You know, I am actually a mathematician. But never mind. We don't have to tell anybody that. But seriously, very good game. Don't get me wrong. Very much enjoyed playing it. I can't give it an 8 out of 10. I can't do that. But 7.5 is too low. So I'm going for 7.9 out of 10 for Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 5. And I'll tell you why I'm giving it what might seem a fairly low score for a game that... Well, that's quite interesting. Reminds me of Red Faction, that. The reason I'm giving it a relatively low score is because it relies far too much on Mary Jane bloody Watson. Now, I played the first Spider-Man game, and I played Miles Morales, both of which, again, really good games. But the first game had these really annoying Mary Jane Watson levels where you had to sneak around. And everybody complained about them. As far as I'm aware, nobody liked them or thought they were fantastic parts of a bloody Spider-Man game. However, for some reason they've doubled down on it and put them in this game. And even got to the finale of the game, and I'm playing Mary Jane Watson in a Spider-Man game. And I was just... Not only that, but it starts introducing new game mechanics as well. It's suddenly a shooter. It's just nonsense. And it really just... It has spoiled the game for me. Even though there's only like 3 or 4 Mary Jane Watson parts. I think there's only 3 major parts that are actually where you're playing her in like a tense situation. But honestly, just don't do it. Why are they doing it to me? I just don't understand it. Have I done what I needed to do in here? Report to Major Trigue at the war camp. Yeah. When did I do that? I wasn't paying attention. I can't mount in it. I was talking, moaning. Yeah, honestly though, very good game. Highly recommend it if you enjoyed the first 2. Well, the first one and whatever Miles Morales is. Don't know why that wasn't Spider-Man 2 or DLC. Whatever. Yeah, if you enjoyed those, definitely pick up Spider-Man 2. Don't let the Mary Jane Watson bits put you off. But yeah, they do ruin what would otherwise be probably a 8.5, 9 out of 10. Perhaps more annoying than Mary Jane Watson, though, is the overt, I'm going to say wokeness about the game, and I don't want you to interpret that as racism or whatever people do, because that's how criticism of the Mary Jane Watson levels seems to have been taken by people. It's like everything else, become a left-right issue. So if you don't like playing as Mary Jane Watson in your Spider-Man game, you must be a Trump supporter. And if you aren't a Trump supporter, then you have to like the Mary Jane Watson levels and champion them. And that's how ridiculous discourse has become about media. I mean, I'm being a bit facetious maybe there. It's not quite so overt, but just go into any Twitter or whatever discussion about Spider-Man 2 and you will see that kind of attitude. Probably not quite as overt as the way I put it, in a sort of an exaggerated way, but that's the attitude that people have. Where's Major Treeg then? It's up this way, so let's carry on up the road. I find it quite disgusting, to be honest, how people react to others' opinions at the moment. But still, that's the world that we live in. So, what I do actually mean by a woke attitude in the game is really just in the way that the characters refer to one another and talk, and it feels like it's been sanitized. I'm not sure if that makes sense. It's very... everybody's inoffensive to one another. They don't talk like real people, at least real people that I know. Especially the whole Peter and Mary Jane relationship. It just doesn't come across as realistic. You could say the same thing about Miles Morales and his relationships with people. There's just something overly idealistic about it, so I don't know. It doesn't seem rooted in reality. Am I heading the right way? Yes, I think so. So we need to head up this way. But then again, what do I know? But it does mean that I'm stuck now for another game to play in my spare time. I was thinking about picking up the new RoboCop game.
Believe what the Republic stiff just told me. Gotta get records.
For what? Those supplies from Nar Shaddaa, they were smuggled in.
What am I supposed to do? Look in the black markets files? Space that.
But cartel didn't have these regulations. Come on time, no questions asked.
We're Republic loyalists now. The creds better be worth the aggravation.
Thugs. If only they knew there was a Jedi stood right here. Well, sat. But yeah, the RoboCop game. I've watched a review on it, and it does look decent, in my opinion. Let's have a look to see what we've got to get rid of. Minor Starfighter experience boost. I don't know what that is. Anyway, we can sell that. Equip. Oh. Hang on a minute, let's bring up our character sheet. So what have we got? What's that then? So if I put that there. I'm saying that's better than... I'm confused. Which one's better than what here? I don't understand that. I'm not sure what to... That's my stim pack. I can go. Surely I need to equip that if that's better than... Oh, I see, it's better in some ways but not others. Okay. Yeah, never mind. Let's just sell it. I don't understand. You know, I'm not... I do apologise if my lack of understanding about this sort of thing offends you. But that's just the way it is. It says it's... Is it this way? Must be this way. Alright, so let's have a look to see what we're doing here. We're just going to Mr. Krieg, aren't we? Trieg, sorry. Major Trieg. Trieg! I'm sure that's a name I've heard before. For the war camp. The Empire is attacking the Republic world Quesh and launched an assault on the Chem base and Venom mine. Thanks to your heroic actions, the mine and its workers are now safe. Oh, of course, we rescued the workers, didn't we? So we're just going to report to Mr. Trieg. Sorry, Major Trieg. Probably wouldn't like to be called Mr. Trieg. There he is. They do like these big cavernous officers, don't they? Like these bloody military types.
I secured our mine. The Empire will think twice before striking our workers again.
Fantastic. We mustn't lose a drop of Quesh venom to the Empire. Wouldn't you agree, Major?
Of course. Granted, the Imperial base won't likely be vulnerable again, but at least we have the miners on our side.
Kuchuso yomati. Chitoya namki noya. Joskanoi. Paguta palco. Chopting wampa. La hagua kilia joska.
When our own attempts to process the Quesh venom failed, we were forced to find outside assistance. Be careful what you say to Broga. He's a very dangerous hunt.
I'll be a model of tact and diplomacy.
Gadwachine boiga, anulia okba kisa spita perupa. Nabiska kolbalia biti bodenya.
No one has told me what the purpose of this meeting is.
Huegi matako, nankise.
An army of Hut Cartel droids are advancing on our factories. The three families are technically working with us without the permission of the Hut Cartel. The Empire has forced the cartel to label them traitors.
I may have a plan, General. If you can draw the attention of the droids at the factory, my men can flank their army.
You can count on me.
Your courage is a model for every soldier on this planet. Thank you. I'll leave this in your hands, then. Stop the droids. Protect any workers left inside the factory. Then report back here. Good luck.
I'd better get the troops marching. Putura musta, wogranik tampio, tupushi wampa. Koptulia doboto tuanawanki slemo, poya tukadanga.
Right, okay, so I don't think we're going to want to do that. It sounds illegal, doesn't it? Broga the Hutt. What do you say, T7? Okay. Right, let's get out of here then. Ooh. That reminds me of the pod racer flags. Right. Yeah, so I was talking about RoboCop. That's right. Yeah, I was thinking about picking that one up. it does look fairly decent. I'm hoping that the game's not too long. The reason is, I think it'd be quite boring to play as RoboCop for too long. But maybe I'm wrong. So we're going to head up that way. So it looks like we go... Do we go back down there, up there, and this way? Oh. Way through there? I'm not sure. Need to get out of this base anyway. I've also got Ghost of Tsushima to play. I was planning on playing that next because I already own it, and it makes sense to play what you already own. Oh dear. Rather than buying something new. But I just don't know if I'm in the mood to play it. It is a very long game. It's kind of one of them ones where I think you get too immersed in it. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure. I'll see. You know, I don't really have the money with Christmas coming up to buy a new game anyway. And I don't really have the time to play one. Oh, what's Lieutenant Merrick want?
Kuna mo, uban chone alipa, istin koto. Doika boda pachi isa jonki. Kuchusa yo mata chitoya, nam kanoya choski nawi.
I just walked over here in a normal way.
Wana wada blota wijawa, o wamawanka matuske. Kabanotase makibuna, malituta odmishka. Wanta humpa, muri rava fupa jipampawula.
A lot of good men and women have given their lives in the fight against the Empire.
Piti do tenya go kakajujo, da biska ku paliya. Poya toka changa goptula do bata wana wanki. Chaskruni do pat kurira do kanki kung.
Right, okay, so now I've got to go to the rooftop as well as inside the factory. Am I heading the right direction? Looks like it. How do we get into the factory to begin with? There's a way in over here. Oh, there's no escaping it, so I'm going to have to kill some people. Oh. What a bitch. But no, I am in also, I was going to say looking forward to, but I'm not really looking forward to Suicide Squad, which is supposed to be another Arkhamverse game. Now, I know that the Spider-Man games get compared to the Arkham games a lot because they're both superhero games, but I'll be honest, I don't think anything... How do I get up there then? Anything at all comes close to what they achieved with the Arkham games. Oh, I see a lift. Come on, don't go without me. Nope. You can fly. Yeah, Spider-Man, I think they're just very different games. I'm not quite sure why they get compared, just because they're... Disarm the explosives, okay. Just because they're superhero games. I mean, arguably you could say Batman's not a superhero, but I mean, he certainly plays like one in the game, the way you go through guys, but yeah, I don't know. Certainly felt that all of the Arkham games, including Origins, which I enjoyed, I think that they did a better job of telling their story and building the universe. I was going to criticise Spider-Man 2 for doing something different with an established character, Venom. But then, when I think about it, Arkham Knight did exactly the same thing with the Arkham Knight. You know, that was Jason Todd, wasn't it, in the end? Rather than being Red Hood. So, I can't really criticise it for that. I don't know. Honestly, I don't really know what to make of it. I just know I didn't enjoy parts of it. I certainly think that the finale of your game is not the right time to be introducing game mechanics. Ah, this must be one of the bombs we need to disarm. Yeah, well, that's a third explosive. So where's the first and second? Are they all in these little tunnels? Oh no, these guys are going to be disarming bloody bombs, aren't they? Ah, it must be in here. But yeah, Suicide Squad, they are releasing more information about it, but I've not really looked at any of it. The last I heard is they were trying to create a live service version of it, which didn't interest me. And to be honest, at that point I kind of started to lose interest. It's definitely going to be a wait and see game, you know? 100% I'm not going to pre-order it, although they are trying to get you to pre-order so you get some classic skins. But no, I'm not playing that game. I think the last game I pre-ordered was no, I pre-ordered Spider-Man. But the only reason I pre-ordered that one was because I knew I was going to get the game anyway. Suicide Squad, I'm not convinced I'm going to buy it. In fact, if it's a live service game, I'm probably not going to buy it. Right, so we can return to Lieutenant Merrick. Well, I'm not sure. Oh, come on, lift. Don't go without me. Not sure if we're going to return to him before we go into the rest of this place, but I think we might, and then I think we'll call it a day. If that's okay with you. Not that you get much choice. It was down here, wasn't it, old Merrick? Where is he? There he is, hiding out. Hey, buddy, what are you looking at?
I took care of those droids. They were planting explosives on the roof.
O kakiza spida perupa. Kadwa shiniko higa danulia. Tauz azulas uval tum mi chakulka dimaji.
Right, so select one of these garbage things. Right, let's have a look. Why were the Imperials trying to blow up this factory? I thought they wanted this factory. The Empire is attacking the Republic world Quesh. Now the Republic's adrenal processing factory is under siege. Oh, by an army of battle droids belonging to the Hook Cartel. Allies of the Empire. Go to the factory and... Oh, okay, fair enough. Never mind. So they are trying to destroy the factories, right? What on earth is he looking at? I don't know. Anyway, I'm glad that you decided to spend this 40 minutes listening to me bitch and moan about the world and Star Wars and everything else. But I will see you next week, and I'll see if I'm in a slightly better mood. Thank you for watching.